Back here in South Florida, Kevin McAlpin with 680 The Fan and the Atlanta Braves Radio Network. We're getting you set for the Braves and the Fish. It's game 2 of their 3-game series, and it comes your way today at 4:10 p.m. Eastern. Make note of the start time. You don't want to tune in at 7. You'll miss all the action. You'll be tuning in for the post-game show. But 4:10 p.m. Eastern as Julio Teheran gets the ball. Braves are looking for another series win. They've won 6 of their last 8 coming into play here this afternoon. They're 34-29 overall on the season. A couple of games back of the first-place Phillies, who won last night. Marlins are 23-38. Braves have won 6 of their first 7 head-to-head meetings against Miami here in 2019. They love coming down to this ballpark. Swept the Fish right out of town here about a month ago and took game 1 last night, and they'll give the ball to Julio Teheran and look for another series win here this afternoon. But first things first, let's talk about last night. Half you may have missed it. Mike Soroka, another dominant performance. He goes 8 innings, pitched into the 9th. Of course, wasn't able to get the job done. Dan Winkler came in and recorded the final 3 outs and gave up an inherited run. So 1 earned run allowed by Mike Soroka over 8+ innings of work last night. He earned his 7th consecutive win last night, and those 7 wins, that's tied for the most among National League rookies. So Soroka continues to impress and is really making a solid, strong case for him to represent the Braves at the All-Star game next month. We'll see how that all plays out. Freddie Freeman, the 2-run homer against Jose Urena in the top of the first inning, his 17th homer of the season. And against the Marlins, how about these numbers? His last 50 games against the Marlins, he's hitting .376 with 11 doubles, a triple, 17 homers, and 40 runs driven in his last 50 games against the Miami Marlins. Freddie loves to swing the bat against the Fish here. 27th homer all-time against Miami. That's his most against any opponent, especially here in the National League East. But 27 bombs against Miami. Freddie Freeman continues to wear out Marlins starting pitching. How about Ronald Acuna Jr., a second-inning RBI single? That was his 100th of his career. He also would add a homer later on in the ballgame against Jose Urena, and quite the epic bat flip, if I might add as well. I asked Ronald after the game how good that one felt, and he said, well, you saw the reaction, and he had a big smile on his face. So that one sure had to feel good after what transpired at SunTrust Park last year with Urena hitting Acuna with the pitch. I do think everything is over now. I think Acuna finally got his payback that he had been waiting so long to do. How about Brian Snitker, added to Dave Roberts' coaching staff, and he will be a part of the National League coaching staff in the All-Star game next month at the All-Star game in Cleveland. I asked Snit about it after the game. He said it's a tremendous honor. It's kind of an emotional moment for him. At this point in his career, he appreciates it even that much more. So him and his wife, Ronnie, he said they will take in the entire experience. He can't wait to get out there, and he's hoping he brings a number of his players with him to represent the Braves in the Midsummer Classic in about 4.5 weeks from now out in Cleveland, Ohio. Let's turn the page to today. Julio Teheran gets the ball coming off an outing where he went 5 innings, gave up 4 hits, no runs on Saturday against the Detroit Tigers. His last 6 starts, he's allowed a total of 3 earned runs over his last 32 2/3 innings pitched. That's an .083 earned run average. Opponents are hitting just a .142 over him, against him over his last 6 starts. It's his 12th career start against Miami here in South Florida. He's 5-4 with a .351 earned run average against the Fish on the road. Trevor Richards gets the ball for Miami this afternoon, and he is 3-5 with a .353 earned run average. Pitched well against the Braves earlier this season. It's his 3rd career start against Atlanta, but earlier, back on May the 4th, went 4 1/3, gave up just 2 hits with 3 strikeouts over 4 1/3 scoreless innings. It was a game the bullpen absolutely melted down in. Braves would score 5 runs in the 6th, 4 more in the 7th in that game that was highlighted by a grand slam from Ozzie Albies and a 4-for-4 performance from Ronald Acuna Jr. So the Braves look to keep things rolling here today. Ben Ingram, Jim Powell, they've got the call for you on 680 The Fan and the Atlanta Braves Radio Network. Hopefully they will close the roof here momentarily because it is hot, it is steamy, it is muggy here in South Florida, and some thunderstorms are on the way later on this afternoon. Again, Braves and the Marlins, Atlanta looking for another series win with Julio Teheran on the mound this afternoon right here on 680 The Fan and the Braves Radio Network. First pitch is set for 4:10 p.m. Eastern.